Hey punks, welcome back to the University of Radlands. We have our 4th Camp Cult of Chrome preview video for you today. Daniel released that on Board Game Geek and the official Radlands community Facebook group. So let's talk about it. Let's show it off. All right, here is the camp here, a picture of it anyway. It is called Draft Office. It gives you 1 starting card to begin the game with, and the ability for 3 water, you can draw 2 cards. And again, this is the first time I'm seeing the art, and I've kind of blown it up here and noticed the peg leg on the silhouette of the person. And before I started recording this, and just kind of cracks me up. That's one thing I'll give credit to for this expansion so far, is that all of the black silhouettes of the punks or people seem to have a little more maybe personality to them, or different traits than compared to the base game. So really enjoying seeing all of the new art. But let's get to the card. So that's a pretty expensive ability. I don't recall very many 3-cost abilities in the base game off the top of my head. So for essentially almost your whole turn, you're able to draw 2 cards from the draw deck. And normally that ability to draw a card from the deck is 2 water. So you're getting your second card at a discount. So that's pretty awesome. Some value there. So the benefit of this is it is a card game, and as I've talked about in other videos, specifically kind of my picking your starting camps video about, maybe having more starting cards being an advantage over your opponent. If you can, over the course of the game, draw more cards than your opponent and have more options, see more stuff, then that might give you the upper hand. Now, again, like I mentioned, 3 water for your whole turn. Ideally, maybe you're a little bit ahead, or maybe your opponent's taking a turn off by drawing a card and maybe picking up the water silo. So the game does ebb and flow quite a bit, and I'm sure there are times where this is probably better utilized than other times. I would say almost any time that you are wanting to draw a card for 2 water, you might as well throw the other water in and see a second card. That does give you more options in the deck, or more options from your hand, maybe to junk some stuff, and still have a turn that's just not paying for this ability. So let's talk about combos, or I guess synergies with the card. And as I mentioned, the main one is just seeing the deck, having more options. But we did have a first preview from a few days ago, Death Ray here, that for 2 water, you can destroy any card if you discard 5 cards. So Draft Office is a way that you could pair those 2 camps together and just try to build up and get those 5 cards into your hand. And then I also wanted to have, a card from the draw deck as well. So I thought maybe Zeto Khan would be a person that would benefit from Draft Office. Specifically his trait, the first event you play each turn is 0. So Draft Office is kind of a way that you can put more cards into your hand, filter or mill the deck, and then, you could also use Zeto Khan's ability for 1 water to get more cards and just try to find those events that might help turn the tide against your opponent. An instant famine is pretty deadly, an instant radiation, an instant bombardment, for example. So just a way, I think those 2 kind of pair well together to give yourself more options that you can play instantly against your opponent and kind of surprise them. Don't know if I have much in terms of play testing to tell about the card. That's not the most exciting camp, Death Ray, destroy any card, discard 5 cards. We had Bounty Office with bringing the punk Wintard into play, or whatever you want to name your punk. But this is just, a good card with a good ability. As I mentioned, you're getting some pretty good value there. half price on your second card. So that is good. You can't have everything in the camp or in your camps be crazy OP. And I think in the opportune moments, over time, seeing more of the deck is advantageous. So let me know your thoughts. Are you kind of excited for Draft Office? I will say that Deathray is probably not the only camp that this pairs really well with. There is another camp that comes with the expansion. I have no clue if Daniel will preview that one or not, but this does have more synergy and more combos within the Cult of Chrome expansion. So what are your thoughts? Let me know below. Do you like the card? What combos or synergies do you think work well with it? Let's talk about it. I want to hear your thoughts. And as always, stay thirsty, punks.